Hey, I'm Dr. Diamond. I help female entrepreneurs scale their business while staying in tune with their pleasure centers. And in this video, we're going to talk about growth mindset for business. So one of the things that's essential to understand that I actually got originally from Tony Robbins and his amazing work is the concept that when we are growing and scaling our business, we are literally becoming different people. If you want a different life and a different business 5, 10 years from now, even 1 year from now, you are going to have to become somebody that takes different actions, that has different thoughts, and that essentially through our new thoughts and our new actions, on some level, we become a different person. So growth mindset's pretty essential for business. So how do we begin to develop a growth mindset? One of the first things to understand is that it's a process. The work I do in training women and helping women build their confidence is a good example of this, because very frequently people think that confidence is a born skill. And there's definitely people that are born more confident naturally than others, but confidence is generally a learned skill, and it comes from doing things over and over again that we are not confident in until we become confident. So that's oriented to growth. Having a growth mindset is really oriented to taking a step back, to being honest with yourself. I talk about honesty and transparency in a lot of my videos and a lot of my content, because one of the ways we grow is to reflect, to be honest with ourselves, and to not defend every action that we do. So one of the activities that I have found to be really helpful in developing and growing into our future self is journaling. But I'm going to give you a different way to journal, because I imagine a lot of people that are watching this already journal. So oftentimes what happens when we journal is maybe we are making notes about what happened in the day, maybe some good stuff, maybe some bad stuff, and maybe we even put in there a lesson we learned along the way. Now, what's really, really, really important in order to use journaling as a way of growing is how often you go back and you actually reread your journals. Because most people, when they journal, the journal then goes into a drawer or somewhere, and it doesn't get pulled out again to review. It usually gets pulled out again to write. And so when you review, the idea of reviewing and rereading your journal entries is that it provides repetition to the mind. So let's say, I'll use an example I made a bad business deal, and I learned a lot of lessons from this bad business deal. And this was it was like definitely a mistake I made. It was a really big learning lesson. Oftentimes we get the best lessons from the mistakes we made. And so as a way of helping make sure I don't make those mistakes again, I write them down. And once a month, what I do is I will go through and I will reread my journal from the past month. And then I will extract at the start of the new month and say, these are the lessons to make sure you remember. And if you do that on a monthly basis, and then the big review is once a year, then I go through the entire journal and I reread. I always do this on my birthday. This is my kind of birthday ritual I've been doing for, I think, about 2 decades now. And the idea with this is you're going and you're reminding yourself, right? Because just like with confidence, we really get to be more confident when we do the thing we're not confident in over and over and over again, right? Until we've done it so many times that we can do it basically in our sleep. And growth is the same way. If you learn something, for most lessons, we need those reminders, and it would be better to get those reminders by going back and reviewing your journal than by getting that same lesson and repeating those same mistakes over and over again. So the idea with this is to have a system in place where you can remind yourself, oh, I learned that lesson, don't do that again. Because it's really easy, especially when we're learning new things, and especially when other people may have influence on us and they might not understand the totality of any situation. It's really easy to sometimes throw out lessons and just be like, I think this time is different, and not incorporate the lessons into our lives. So having some sort of way of tracking your growth, of tracking the learnings, of going back and making sure you're not repeating your mistakes helps you become that new person because you're documenting your progress along the way and you have a system in place to check on this. So I really encourage you to put this in your calendar, to actually make a date with yourself on a monthly basis to go back and read your journal. If you don't journal, I would encourage you to start. And even if it's as simple as a 1-minute exercise at the end of the day or the beginning of the day, reflecting on the day before, and a simple exercise can be what I'm grateful for, because that puts us into a state of gratitude, and gratitude has a lot of health benefits, really, really good for state change, which we talk about a lot. And then secondly, to go into lessons I learned that I want to make sure to remember. This way you're tracking your progress. This way you have a simple thing, and it really can take you a minute or less a day, and then even 10, 20 minutes once a month at the month mark. Again, put it in your calendar so you remember to do this. If it doesn't tend to get into our systems right away, then we tend to, as humans, easily have things fall away from our plan. So I hope this helps. Really important to continue to grow your mindset into the future you, your future leader, the future entrepreneur that you are. And again, I'm Dr. Diamond. Please subscribe to this channel, and I'll see you in the next one.